Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you guys how to ship a wreath and how to pack it so it can arrive to your customer in a safe way. So the first thing I do is I ship most of my wreaths in a 22 by 22 by 8. So the dimensions are right here. Now I get this size because some people ship them in like a 24 by 24 by 6. Some people ship it in a 22 by 22 by 6. Well, my wreaths are not big enough to go into a 24 by 24 by 6 or 8, so I ship them in a 22. I like them when there's like, you guys, there should be really no room on the edges of your boxes. That way you know you're saving on shipping. If there's like 6 inches left, your wreath is in the middle, and then there's 6 inches around, you're wasting money because y'all, you're using a bigger box. The way shipping works when you get into a bigger box like this, especially for like UPS, USPS, that kind of a thing, they don't go by the weight of the box anymore. It's pretty much the dimensions. So the bigger the dimensions, the more the wreath, or the more the price is for your item. So the smaller the box, the smaller the better. But you don't want to squish it so bad that it's like damaged. So my wreath pretty much fit. The wreath I'm going to be shipping today is a little bit smaller side. So there's a couple different things you can do. So I use a 22 by 22 by 8. But that doesn't mean I can't cut this box down to a 22 by 22 by 6 and save myself 2 inches of space if I need to. So if I do that, that's when I use this box resizing tool. Now this is a tool that has like this these are little hooks. They're like, they score your box. They score your box. They don't cut all the way through it. They score it so it's so you can fold it. And then this thing sits in the lip, and then you can use this and go up and down on your box, so you know how much you're gonna like go down, okay? So you can get this on Amazon. Now I don't think I'm gonna use this in this wreath today, but we'll have to see. I also use a tape runner because I ship so many wreaths, you guys, that this thing just works out. I got a 2-pack of this tape runner on Amazon for I don't even know how much. It was like $10 or whatever, and then I just buy the refills of tape. I use good packing tape so that way it doesn't come apart. And then my boxes. Now I used to get my boxes on Amazon, but for some reason last time I ordered them, they were like, I used to get 15 of these boxes for $45. And that was a 22 by 22 by 8. But then last time I went on to Amazon, they were like a ridiculous price. It was like $80 some for like 10 boxes, plus you had to pay like $20 shipping. So it was basically like $10 a box, and I was like, I cannot afford that. So I went on to Uline. Now Uline is going to be a little bit more expensive. You're going to be paying shipping. I think I paid like $60 shipping, but I got a better quantity, and I ordered a ton of boxes, so that way I had more. So it depends on what you're doing. Otherwise, you might be able to go and make your own box. It's whatever. So what I do is I always, if I know I'm going to leave the box at this size, I leave the dimensions out on the bottom. If I know I'm going to cut the box down, I do it the other way, and I would have these flaps out and then these 2 flaps in, but I'm not. So I'm going to take my tape runner. Now this is going to be a little bit loud, and I'm going to take my, so I just take it and I go right down the side, the middle, covering up that crack, and I leave about 4 to 5 inches of tape, sometimes it's a little bit more, coming down. That way it leaves a nice grip. Now, I don't like, some people just do 1. I don't like to do that, so I do 3. So I do another one, like half, overlapping half of the first tape. So I like, so we did the middle, and then we went over to the, your left, my right, and then we're gonna go over to my right, my left, your right, and we're gonna do this too. So that's about 3 pieces of tape, which is a good size. So now what I'm going to do is, now I usually have an ice pick, but I don't know where I lost mine. So I take like a pencil today, and I just cut 2 holes in my box. I leave about 3 inches apart, or 3 inches apart. That way if these boxes would rip together, it wouldn't come together. It'd be a little bit difficult, and I do that in opposite corners. For a wreath, I usually do 2. You can do 4, but I do 2. So, and I leave it away from the edges. I bring it in a little bit more, and I just grab 2 holes. Now what I want to do is I want to grab pipe cleaners. Now some people will use zip ties. Some people use all different things. I use zip ties or pipe cleaners just because it's a little bit easier. And I get something that's not matching my wreath. So my wreath is like a pink, a blue, and a burlap. So a red should pretty much stand out. And I do 2 pipe cleaners, and I add them together. So I just tie them together like so. I do a pull test to make sure that they don't come apart. So all you do is just do an X on the end, and then you just pull them together, twist them around each other, And this is what's gonna go in this hole, and this is what's gonna hold the box. So basically, I'm tying the wreath to the bottom of the box. So if this box would get flipped over, the wreath wouldn't be able to flop down to the other side and smash everything. So then I do is I do a little rainbow, and I just plop it in there, and I do that to the exact opposite side, like so. Boop, boop. And then what I do is I take some tape and I go right over the top of them. You want to make sure you put tape over this because that could get stuck in the conveyor belt at the shipping place and it could rip something, could rip your box open, it could just, you don't want to leave anything that's going to snag anything. So anything that's like poking out, you want to at least put some kind of tape over it. So just put 2 pieces of tape over one of each side and you should be good, okay? Now we got our box, we got our little hanging things in there, as you guys can see. So now we have 2 of these. Now what I can do is I take my wreath. So this is the wreath that I'm doing today. I just need to take the price tag off. All my wreaths get a price tag and an ID number. That way if it goes to a craft show, I have the price on it already. And that way if I sell something, I'm like, what wreath was that? So this is our wreath that we're shipping out today. I just do any last checks on it. I make sure everything in the back is secured. And then I place it down in my box. So as you can see, this wreath fits pretty darn snug in the box. It's a little bit of room, but it works. So what I do is I lift up my little thing and I pull a pipe cleaner through the one of the crossbars on my work form. So I make sure it goes through the crossbar on my work form, and then I pull down and I twist about 3 to 4 to 5 times, okay? So then what I do is I just twist it, and then I kind of like pull the pipe cleaner up so you can kind of see it. And then what I do is I take my little pipe cleaner on this other side, I pull it tight, and I twist. So I make sure you go around a crossbar, friends. That's what's gonna, don't go around a piece of ribbon or something because that's not good grip. So then, and then like I said, I pull it up so they can see it, and then I kind of just fluff my wreath a little bit. Anything that I see that looks like it's a little damaged, or not damaged, but like it's a little bit squished, I just fluff it a little bit. I want my wreath to look as pretty as it did when they saw it on their picture. And so that is what I'm doing right now. And then all I do is I take my I have these little packing thing, envelope type things. They're sticky and they're clear. And I pull them off and I stick it to the side of the box. Some people do it on the outside of the box. I do it on the inside. And I just stick it down. And then what they get in there is they always get a business card. One of my business cards so that they know where everything came from. And then I will write a little handwritten little thank you note. And then I will put a little sheet in here. I'm going to go print that off. Before I do that, you guys, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I take my box and I just close it and I put 1 piece of tape on it, okay? Just to close the box, okay? Then what you're gonna need is a scale. So some way you're gonna need a scale if you're printing or something that was set up at home. If you're gonna go and just take this box and take it to the post office and have them do it there, that's totally fine. I do all mine online because it's a pain in the butt to go there, and plus it's a little bit more expensive. But I ship all my wreaths this size through UPS. I used to ship it through USPS, and then I got really crazy, and they started charging me a fortune, and I was like, I'm done. So then I went and I started to go through UPS, and it has been so much better. I can ship a wreath for around $20. I think like $25, $30 is the most, but that's depending on where it is. So that is a lot better because in the beginning, USPS was charging me like $60, friends. So I take the scale. It's a Dymo, and I think I got it at like, I swear I got this at like Target, but I'm sure you can get them on Amazon. And it's just got kilograms and pounds. I go with the pounds, and I just put it down. Sometimes it's like, it like has a random number on it or something. I just put tar, and it goes back, it sets it back to 0. And then I place my wreath box on it, and I just hands off of it. Just let it teeter-totter. So right now it's at 4 pounds, 1.6 ounces. So I round that to about, since my thing just goes in, I just do about 4.5, and then it usually just rounds up to 5, which, let me just tell you guys, remember, it's not going off the pounds all that much. It's pretty much going off the size of the box. So then what I do is I have a Shippo account. That's how I ship through. I want to switch to ShipStation, and I'm planning on doing that soon here. I recommend taking Deco Exchange's Oh Ship challenge. Yes, Oh Ship, okay? I didn't say I don't know. Sometimes, y'all, I say that on, like, my Facebook Lives. I told someone, and then, like, if you're listening to the audio, or if you're listening to, like, the, where the words come on the bottom, it says, you can guess what the word, comes up as. So, yes, Oh Ship, like, you're shipping your wreath. So, I use Shippo, and you can just, like, it basically, the reason I really like it is because I, like, type my dimensions in, and, it tells me pretty much what's the cheapest, carrier. So, like, sometimes UPS is more expensive than USPS. It all depends. So, this one, I go in, and I go over to the orders. So this is not an Etsy sale. Normally, just on an Etsy sale, so Etsy, does have where you can buy, shipping labels off of them through USPS for a cheaper price, like a discounted price. It's not that much, and plus, I still don't ship through them. So all I do is I go in there, I copy and paste the address, and then I, add that into my, and then I get, do all my things. I type the calculations, your dimensions, and all the things, and then I go into my Etsy, and all I do is I, go into complete order, I copy and paste the tracking number, and then you're done. Some people, I've had questions, some people thought that that if they bought something off Etsy, that they had to ship the item through USPS, and that it's not true. So this person I already have in my, thing, and it's pretty much just the exact same dimensions, so we're just gonna do buy again. And this one is going to, okay, holy moly, guacamole. Okay, so this wreath is going to ship through USPS ground for $16.68. So that is a good price. I'm going to hit buy my label, purchase it, and then we are going to, I use a label printer, so I will do all my little, I gotta customize it, but I will do all that, and then when I got that done, I will come back with my little, I have print out a little note that tells them what to do when they get their wreath. It tells them to cut the tie off, all the things, fluff the ribbons, whatever, and then I will come back and I'll show you how to pack this all the way up and be able to get it ready to send it. Goodbye, everyone. I'll be back in the, well, not goodbye, I'll be back in the, and we're back. So I just printed my thing. Now this is what I put in the box. So it says, it's wreath unpacking directions. So it says, now that your wreath has safely arrived to you, there are a few things you need to do to get your wreath out of the box. I have wired your wreath to the bottom of the box to make sure it didn't move during shipping. Simply cut 2 ties on the bottom of the box and your wreath will come free. And then on the bottom it says, I greatly appreciate you from ordering me. Hope you enjoy your wreath. If you bought your piece on Etsy, would you, I would, oh my gosh, you guys, I just found a typing error, because I changed this, you guys, like the other day, and I found a typing error. So, actually, for this wreath, I just changed it the other day because I saw something that I didn't like, and I reworded it. But for this wreath, they didn't actually buy it on Etsy, so we don't put that in there. So I just cut that off, and that's all they really need. And actually, for the other wreath, it wasn't actually, was a gift that someone bought from Etsy going to someone else, so I also get rid of that because they can't favorite my Etsy shop because they didn't buy it, they got it as a gift. So that's what I do, and I just put that in the box along with the things. So now that I have their shipping label over there. This is my computer, I don't need that right now. So what I do now is I bring my box back after I purchase my label. I open this up again. Normally, I wouldn't even have to do this, but I didn't have any more of these things printed off, so I just had to print another one. So I just slipped that in the middle. I slipped my little note that I had written, wherever I put that, right here. So a little bit of handwritten note. Some people like to have a card. I do a handwritten note because I think it's just more nice, because some people like, I think handwritten is more special than a printed off piece of paper. So all I do is then I take my tape, I go right over the crack. Basically, the exact same thing we did on the top, we do on the bottom. Or the exact same thing we did on the bottom, we do on the top. So 3 pieces. And you know what I actually forgot to do on the bottom, you guys? I forgot to do one thing. I also like to do the sides. So the sides as well. Anywhere where there's a crack where water could get into it, I like to do it. Even though I know that if this sits in water, it's going to get saturated, but I like to do the sides as well. And I forgot to do that with my last one. So I flip it over, and our wreath shouldn't have moved because we have wire down to the box. I forgot to do this before, guys. So yeah, I do the sides as well. So I like to half on, half off. And then all I do is I just take this, and I just take my box like that. And then I just take my shipping label. For instance, I'm not going to show the address, but all I do is I just stick it onto the corner. My labels are sticky on the back because I use a Rollo printer, so they're like already sticky. But otherwise, you would just take your piece of paper. If you print them off on a regular piece of paper, cut it out. Don't leave an excess piece of, just cut whatever you need. Don't leave a whole big piece of paper on there, and then just put tape over the top of it. Okay? So that's how you ship a label. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure to leave any comments you have below. I know there's been a lot of questions about how to ship a wreath, and that's pretty much how I do it. Everyone does it differently, so there's tons of videos out there, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye, everyone.